So you've relapsed and you're in a state of misery and despair. You feel ashamed, you feel like you're a loser, you feel like you can't actually beat this addiction. You're down in the dumps. Let's eliminate the elephant out of the room. Elephant in the room, sorry. Yeah, mixing my words up there. But I want to make one thing abundantly clear. We've all relapsed. We've all been there. No one is perfect. I relapsed millions of times along my journey when I overcame this addiction. I know factually mates of mine that relapsed a million times. I know people online that relapsed a million times. The first step that I want you to take is, I know it's easier said than done, but don't be too hard on yourself. These things can happen. If I said to you, you could have just been on a 30-day streak and you just relapsed. It's not the end of the world. It's not. What will be bad is if you now relapse 4 or 5 times in the next 3 hours, because I've done that millions of times as well, because you have the counting days mentality of, I'm on day zero now. I might as well binge and wank 5 times because I can just start on day one tomorrow. Brother, you're harming yourself. And this is why I keep reiterating, eliminate this mentality of, I need to count days. Counting days, yes, I'm on day 90. Come on, this isn't a game. It's not a streak. It's a lifestyle. And that's something that I want to make very, very clear to all of you. You have the wrong paradigm of, I need to count days. If you don't have that paradigm of counting days and you take this seriously as an identity, in the grand scheme of things, when you actually zoom out a little bit, one relapse in 30 days is quite impressive. It means nothing because you can just get back on the horse, dust yourself off. Fine, it can happen. I'm human. I fell into the temptation, into the urge, and we get back up again. And then you might relapse 45 days later. By this point, you've relapsed twice in 75 days. Now compare that to 2 relapses in 75 days in comparison to 6 relapses in 30 days, because now you've relapsed and you had the paradigm of counting days, you've binged. So what's worse for your brain? It's common sense. Of course it is. That's why I always say it's nonsensical to ever count days, because this isn't a fucking game. Now what to do? As I said, you're in a state of misery and despair. You're upset, you're angry at yourself, you're very hard on yourself. Don't be. Stop counting days. That is the second piece of advice I can give you after not being too hard on yourself. The third is, you've lost a lot of nutrients and minerals. I'm talking zinc that's within your sperm. I'm talking about different types of vitamins as well that's within there. So you've lost a lot in your seed, because that is your man force. There's a reason why semen retention is very popular in terms of drive and motivation. You probably feel quite lethargic as well, quite tired. So you need to energize, you need to revitalize. So one thing I would recommend is eat super clean. Eat things like spinach, eat loads of Brazil nuts that can boost the testosterone, eat loads of hazelnuts, walnuts, salads, carrots that's good at boosting testosterone, raw garlic and onion, red meat, fish. Eat very healthy, consume loads of water. Do this immediately. You need to replenish yourself. You just lost a lot with your semen. This is from the physical aspect of what you need to be doing once you've relapsed, because that's going to help you generate the sperm quicker, and it's just very healthy for you, for your skin, and things like that. So that's the third piece of advice I can give you is, you just lost a lot. You need to revitalize. You need to replenish what you've just lost from a physical aspect. As I said, from an emotional aspect, don't be too hard on yourself. Slips can happen. These things can happen. We're not perfect. You were never going to go on a 200-day streak on the first time. It just wasn't going to happen. Guys, it was just never going to happen. Not because no one does that. You've been bashing your meat for over a decade and you think you're going to quit overnight. Of course you're not. It's like someone who was a chain smoker, who was smoking 60 cigarettes a day like my granddad, overnight quitting. He's not going to quit overnight. He's going to relapse and smoke a cigarette after 3 days of being so strong. It's normal. It's over time when you get better, when you alter your paradigm and you have that mindset shift of, okay, that was wrong. I need to be better there. I need to improve and elevate in this area. I made a mistake here. I can do better. I'm going to replenish myself by eating clean, by drinking and consuming loads of water. I'm not going to be too hard on myself. I understand that this is not a game. This is not a streak, but yet I'm forming a new identity. This is a new lifestyle for me. Having the correct mindset, cultivating the right mentality will help you get over this. And that's what you need to be doing when you've just so-called failed. You haven't failed. I don't like using that word. You've taken a lesson. That's what it is. You've learned a harsh lesson and you're going to take it going forward. And that's the next thing that I want you guys to do. What have you learned? What caused you to relapse in that moment? Was it because you were in a state of boredom? You were in your room for too long. You weren't going outside like I keep advising you guys to do. You weren't spending time with family and friends. You were stuck in your room. You got nothing else to do. You thought, fuck it, let me wank. Fine. Learn your lesson. Stop spending so much time inside. Go outside. Read a book. Pick up a hobby. Do something. Go to the gym. Socialize. Do something. You need to do something. You must. Otherwise, you're going to repeat the same mistake over and over again. And that's what the definition of insanity is by Albert Einstein. It's doing the same exact thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. It's asinine. It's preposterous. If you think you can do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome, you need to be taken away, my friend. You're going to be taken away and sent to the mental asylum because they're going to think you're cuckoo. It's that simple, guys. So what lesson can you take from this relapse? What can I do and implement going forward so I don't repeat the same mistake again? It's not hard. It's not hard. Take the valuable lesson, learn from it, and don't do it again. Make sure that your environment has been cultivated so that it's conducive going forwards. Make sure that your room is tidy. Make sure that you have hobbies. Make sure that your schedule is packed so you haven't got time to think. Forget fapping. You haven't even got time to even fathom or even conceptualize the idea of, yeah, let me go and bust one out. You're not even going to think about that because your schedule is jam-packed. You've got things to do. You've got so many things to do, but by the time you come to your room at 9 o'clock at night, you're shattered. You're shattered. You haven't got the energy to wank. You want to shower and go to bed. That's it. That's what you need to be doing. Take the valuable lesson, learn from it, replenish, revitalize. Don't be too hard on yourself. These things happen. As long as you took the lesson from that, I'd say kudos to you. There's nothing wrong with that. And stop counting days, please. For goodness sake, stop counting days because it's not going to help you. If anything, it's going to hinder your long-term development. This isn't a game. This isn't a streak. This, my friend, is a lifestyle. Start taking this seriously. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.